More lessons from the fires in LA. Let's check this out and comment.
150,000 people have been told to evacuate. More than 12,000 homes and buildings have been destroyed. The mayor today vowing to rebuild. But with so many now homeless, the coming days, weeks, and months will be a real challenge. Our team is spread out across the fire zone, but we're going to begin on the front lines of the fire, just behind me. Tonight, this is the new front in the Los Angeles wildfires battle.
This is still a very active firefight.
The massive Palisades fire, already more than 20,000 acres, growing overnight. Evacuations ordered for Encino and Brentwood, with homes in those iconic neighborhoods threatened by flames. News chopper.
Notice how some houses are spared. This is the kind of structure that is very unlikely to end up burning, right? Why? Well, because you seem to have some kind of material, brick, a type of wall or cement or something like that, tiled, ceramic tiles. These things don't burn. So unless you have massive vegetation around and things that would be true fuel right next to a structure, this is not going to burn, especially if you have some clear area around it. So these are all little things that you can incorporate. Even wooden houses. There's been cases of houses made of wood or have like a wooden siding, but because it was not this tinder material, dry vegetation, pieces of plastic, right, trash cans, things that can actually burn, and that starts the fire and ignites the larger pieces of wood, they didn't burn. So this is the ideal kind of building, but there's a lot you can do to prevent it from spreading.
Neighborhoods threatened by flames. News choppers capturing the growing line of fire.
Definitely some scary stuff.
The ATF now tasked with leading the investigation into what caused this fire, even as the battle to contain it rages on.
This is areas that have not burned in approximately 50 years. So we're seeing fire that was moving through there quickly.
We were on the ground with firefighters today as teams lined up, then fanned out across the massive fire zone.
Areas that haven't burned in 50 years. What had been done in terms of prevention? What had been done in terms of cleaning? What had been done in removing all of that dry, tinder material that you have there?
We're here at the front lines of the Brentwood fire. You can see a flare up just behind me right there, the flames rising. And the fight is grueling for these firefighters. They have to go down the canyon, put out those flames. They've been at this for 5 days now. With water resources limited, fire crews are getting water wherever they can, including swimming pools. You're fighting the fires with swimming pool water?
It is not uncommon everywhere in the world. Swimming pools are a go-to place to quickly get, especially with choppers. You know, those choppers that they have like a basket. They see a pool. They don't they have the right to just go pick up water in an emergency and drop it. So fairly common.
We've had to do that on multiple locations.
That is not an excuse for the disaster of this administration in LA and in California in general that has dropped the ball as you wouldn't believe.
Throughout the Palisades fire.
Overnight, the dangerous Santa Ana winds picked up once again after a short lull. The conditions creating this swirling fire-nado.
Look at all of that stuff. Why was it there in the first place? Why was this not clean? This is one of the richest areas in the entire country. And why is it they're removing all of this dry stuff? Now, I'm not talking about cleaning entire forests, but this is close to the city. You don't have a barrier. You don't have any proper planning. Nothing done in terms of prevention. Nothing done in terms of avoiding fuel being there when this eventually happens, as they knew it would. This is negligence beyond what you can understand.
Fire crews using chainsaws to cut and remove vegetation before it can catch fire. As dawn broke this morning, airdrops continued over this canyon in an attempt to contain the flames.
These guys are heroes. I mean, they've always been heroes, but just the operation is unbelievable.
But law enforcement sources say those airdrops have been threatened today as multiple drones have been spotted in their flight areas, a serious risk to the crews flying them. These aircrafts have played a critical role in getting the fires under control, dropping water and retardant to slow the progress of the flames. But a drone is already blamed for damaging this Canadian super scooper. It's been grounded for days, and officials say it may not be able to fly again.
Wasn't it that Joe Biden said it was not a risk? Wasn't it that Joe Biden said that those drones were not a risk to people?
Until Monday at the earliest. This as the world-renowned Getty Art Museum threatened by fire, and students at UCLA have been warned to get ready to get out, as all classes now will be remote all of next week. And today, a close-up look at the devastation in Altadena. House after house leveled. More than 150,000 people are under evacuation orders.
Dennis Quaid.
Actor Dennis Quaid among them.
And I can't say enough about the firefighters and the first responders in this town. We got some good ones, just good people here, and we're fighting as hard as we can to save our city.
More than 1,500 National Guard troops have now been called up, some of them to patrol evacuation zones. And Los Angeles County officials say so far, more than 20 people have been arrested for burglary and looting.
Yeah.
Just emptied the truck here with everything I was able to throw in.
And so many now in limbo.
Stealing, looting, I mean, the typical thing, people getting evacuated. Then we have so much to talk about. All of these are lessons learned. I mean, these are the things we've been talking about for years now. This should not be a surprise for anyone. You should have all of this already sorted out, what you're going to be pick up. You have your go bag, you have a plan, you know where you're going. And for all of this stuff, guys, as always, the channel, which this has been talked about for years now. Also, in terms of my books, you have them in the links there below. Surviving the Economic Collapse, Street Survival Skills, 2 books that will really help you get a lot better prepared for this sort of thing, specifically bugging out and relocating. This is a book that I did a lot of research on specifically for this kind of thing, for bugging out, relocating when you have no other option. As the title says, when staying put is not an option. It's not optional. Everything is burning. So you need to have your go bag ready. You need to have your VIP bag ready. You need to have your documents sorted out. You don't have to quickly rush. Well, what am I forgetting? You should know what to grab when you have, as I explained in that book, when you have 1 minute, when you have 5 minutes, when you have an hour, when you have a day, or when you have a month. It may be any of those, depending on the situation you're specifically dealing with. You may have 1 minute or an entire day or a year to leave. It's really complex. But when it's something like this, which is imminent right now, you need to know where you're going to. You need to have a plan. All right, if this happens, I'm going here. Oh, but I don't have anywhere to go. Really? There's nowhere you can go. You don't have any families. You don't have any family. You don't have any friends. Okay? Do you have any hotel in mind that may be something you can afford? Do you have the money so as to stay there until you get things sorted out a little bit better? Do you have any plan at all? That is what you need to do right now. It's not about simply saying, oh, I don't have anywhere to go. Okay, that sucks. Still, have a plan, all right? Because that's the moment in which you don't want to be making those decisions, when you have 1 minute to go. Guys, that's going to be all for now. See you on our next video. Take care.